You're watching the ACC on ESPN. We welcome you to the All-State Saturday kickoff and the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series. A sellout today at Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina for the UNC Tar Heels at 3-8 and the NC State Wolfpack at 7-4. Along with John Congemi, Mike Cousins, so glad you could join us today with 57,000 plus here to watch the regular season finale between these two teams. We'll promise to be friendly today. The players, maybe not so much. 90 minutes ago down on the field, a little bit of too close for comfort interaction. Just friendly banter between the two squads as they get set for their rivalry game here to close out the regular season. The deciding factor the last 3 years has been rushing yards. You win that statistical category, you win the game. It's also gone to the road team in those matchups as well. John, for NC State, 7-4, but for a few close plays, they could be a 10-win team today.
They have definitely had their share of heartbreak. 3 of the 4 losses were by a single play or a single possession. Here in the opener against South Carolina, trying to make a play at the end to finish off the game, a 4th down conversion, falls harmlessly into the end zone, you lose by a touchdown. You have Clemson on the ropes for 2 years in a row. You're trying to close it out, but you can't get in the end zone. You come up short, you lose by a touchdown. Last week, this was heartbreak at its finest. Freshman wide receiver Emeka Amizi, he is trying to go in to tie the score, but 2 defenders from Wake break the football up away from the freshman, and there's the heartbreak on the sideline. So you're right, Mike. For Dave Doran, in this senior class of 20, they would love to come back, take all of that frustration, and build it into a victory today.
On the other side for North Carolina, they knew there'd be some change, especially at quarterback, but nobody could have predicted how hard injuries would hit.
And the problems are everywhere. It's just not at quarterback, at linebacker, at corner. It filters into the special teams, and that's why depth has become a problem for North Carolina. What Larry Fedora would like to do, he'd like to get back to those 11 wins, those 8 wins, and for him to do that, they're going to have to win today, and even if they don't, if they're not successful today, get on the road, get out and recruit, get those guys back in this program that can provide that depth to the Tar Heel lineup.
Well, that's where he's going tomorrow, is out recruiting, but today is the bowl game for UNC. NC State, winners of the coin toss, they defer their option to the second half. North Carolina to receive. Kyle Bambard puts it in the air, and off we go. In front of a sellout crowd, Anthony Ratliff Williams on the return for the Tar Heels. Stop short of the 25-yard line, and that's where UNC takes over. 3-8 this year, and on quarterback number 3 as well here to wrap up the regular season, Nathan Elliott from Salina, Texas, with his 3rd college start today.
Well, Mike, if it's what have you done for me lately, then Nathan Elliott's doing pretty good. He's won the last 2 football games, son of a coach. He's a good leader. He does everything really well, and he's competitive, and that's the most important ingredient you need to face guys like Bradley Chubb on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Pass on 1st down goes to the tight end, Fritz, who leaps over the first defender and is stopped out at the 27-28-yard line. 23rd catch of the year for him, number 82. Big Jason Witten fan growing up in the Cleveland suburbs. The sophomore Jordan Brown is the running back here for the Tar Heels on 2nd down and 5. On the keeper toward the sticks. And short of the 1st down for Nathan Elliott. John, with UNC on offense, who are your impact players?
Well, it's wide receiver Anthony Ratliff Williams. He's a sophomore and has a knack for creating big plays, has a kick return, caught a pass, threw a pass for a touchdown. Only player this year to do that in the NCAA. And then on defense, it's Bradley Chubb. He's 6'4", he's 275. He has great size, great speed and strength, 10 sacks, 24 tackles for loss. He'll be disruptive behind the Tar Heel line of scrimmage.
3rd down, Elliott on the rollout, looking to get it away and has to throw it into a sea of red. 4th down comes up on their opening drive.
That's exactly what NC State wanted in their opening defensive 3 plays. Come in, pressure Elliott, force him out of the pocket, and get a punt going the other way and get their offense on the field.
Hunter lets it fly. And back at the 25. On the return, it's Locklear. Out across midfield. Great starting field position for the Wolfpack. 30 yards on the return. Sets them up in North Carolina territory, where the offense begins as NC State goes in pursuit of its 8th win of the year.
Starting a game, you always like to come out with the football in positive field position. You never want to be backed up, and that's what Ryan Finley is going to be the beneficiary of. Great numbers this year in throwing the football, in protecting it with a 16 touchdown, only 5 interception ratio. And what I like about him, he just has a good feel for the pass offense, and the ball comes out on time.
The Swiss Army knife of their offense, Jalen Samuels, in motion to start the play, as the handoff goes to Nyheim Hines off to the right side, where they've got the right tackle, Will Richardson, redshirt junior, who they want to use a lot in the running game.
They got a big offensive line who not only can pass protect, but they can move you off your spot against your will. So they got a team that can do a little bit of both. They can run it, and they sure can throw it with Finley at quarterback.
Handoff for Samuels. And he's quickly gobbled up near the line of scrimmage. John, on this side of the ball, who are your impact guys here?
It would be a great time to get the ball to Jalen Samuels for NC State. He plays multiple positions, and they're going to move him around this offense to find matchups in the UNC defense. And defensive end, Malik Carney, 5.5 sacks, 11.5 tackles for loss. He's disruptive. He can play and move around that line of scrimmage, so he's a force to identify with right away for if you're an offensive tackle.
It's the junior Gillespie in the backfield with Finley on 3rd down and 9. Great pocket protection. He floats it to the far side, and it's Jacoby Myers who makes the catch for a Wolfpack first down, picking up 16.
Beautiful timing, the pass offense. Good pass protection. Nobody around, a clean pocket to step and deliver on time. And that's just a good throw with a good route for a first down.
Finley fakes the handoff. Now motioning the offense as he goes toward the sideline. And the pass is into the hands of Myers.
Mike, it looked like Myers may have got that left toe and dragged it. 8 yards later, this might be a catch. It was called a catch on the field. NC State hurrying to the line of scrimmage.
All right, naked boot here for Finley. Inside the 20-yard line, quick to the line of scrimmage, no time for the replay booth and no time for the defense to get coordinated.
Tempo kills, and when you're getting positive plays and stacking them together, it's tough on a defense. Ryan Finley got that offensive line, got organized on the perimeter, and ran that play before anybody could check if that was a catch or not. Now they've got it at the 15-yard line.
As up and down as things have been on the other side for Carolina at quarterback this year, it's been nothing but stability the last few years with Finley and his offensive coordinator Eli Drinkwitz, who he started his career with at Boise State. 1st and 10, Gillespie testing the left side. He stretches at the goal line, and we've got a flag down back at the 12.
This one might come back.
That's on the left guard, Tyrone Prescott.
Mike, you talked about the team that runs the football in this series as we watch the hold from Prescott. Right on the edge, he gets that arm bar inside on Crawford, the defensive tackle. But you talk about the team that runs the football in the open. NC State, they want to run the football because it opens it up for their playmakers on the outside. who have a size advantage, especially in the red zone.
Samuels takes the pitch from Finley. Some blocking in front. He's cut down at the 15-yard line right after the penalty.
That's the guy you want to get the football to. You want to hand it to him, pitch it to him, and especially throw it to him down the field. He can make players miss. 192 career receptions. Stacks up pretty well in the history books here at North Carolina State.
Pitt's coach Pat Narduzzi put it best. He's like Waldo. You've always got to find where he is on just about every play. Finley checks it down for Hines. A juke and a dive. And not too much to the 13, brought down by the defensive tackle, Aaron Crawford.
And Mike, that was great recognition by Carney, the defensive end. We highlighted him early in this game. He was able to flash outside and fight the screenplay back into Aaron Crawford. So good play by Carney, setting that edge and recognizing the screen.
Third down, 8 to go, and a check to the sidelines. Hines behind Finley with the tight end, Cook in to block. And it's Hines, left side again. Hoping for no flags on this play. The initial spot may have him just short of the first down.
And I think that offense is going to stay on the field. That's probably a half a football short. It's going to be fourth down, and a good pressing of the hole by Nyheim Hines to get down close to the 5-yard line. Watch him close the distance on that defensive line, and then know it. He has to get north and south to get close to the sticks. Came up about a half a yard short.
Well, they've not been a great field goal kicking team this year, just 50%, and that's between two kickers. 12 for 21 on fourth down. And the push from Finley gets the job done. First and goal, NC State.
Most offenses, Mike, they forget about the quarterback sneak. We don't see that a whole lot. You either get up to the line of scrimmage and you try to cadence the defense, or just a good old-fashioned quarterback sneak with good push gets this football inside the 3.
Samuels in the backfield. Another sneak. A push from the pile. And NC State has a touchdown. Finley is in for the game's first 6. If it worked last play, why not just do it again?
Mike, the good offensive coordinators around the country, they like to repeat plays, and this is a terrific push. Prescott, Bradbury, Adams, all those guys in the middle doing a terrific job of creating leverage on the line of scrimmage, and easily Ryan Finley gets a little help into the end zone.
Taking advantage, he's got his second rushing touchdown of the season, and the junior Bambard is on for the extra point. He dinks it off the upright. Well, a 30-yard punt return set up a short field, and it led to a touchdown for Finley. Smiling up by 6.
This is the All-State Saturday Kickoff.
Six 0 NC State over UNC with 7:45 left in the first. John Kajemi, what do you say? It's about 99% red and about 1% Carolina blue here?
This is exactly what rivalry games look like on the road. You get to carve out that little section for the visiting team, and the home team celebrating an opening drive touchdown set up by excellent field position.
So after a Ryan Finley touchdown sneak, here comes Carolina, looking to get a jump start on drive number 2. MJ Stewart stopped just past the 15-yard line. Teams that have somewhat been trending in different directions since their respective bye weeks. Carolina 2-0, NC State 1-3, although the season stories are certainly different. Nathan Elliott at quarterback getting his third start today. We'll have Brown in the backfield here. Played for his dad, Bill, at Salina High School. And that's what Larry Fedora says was part of what drew them to recruit him. The guy was a coach's son, always a positive in recruiting. Early motion along the line, and we've got pre-snap flags.
Looked like Rogers, the left guard, got an early jump. Well, Dillard snapped the football or maybe moved to the center, 54, and he brought Khalil Rogers, the left guard, with him. So you never want to start behind the chains, and that's what North Carolina is going to do here at 1st and 15.
Dillard, the grad transfer from Florida, came here with a telecommunications degree. Just a one-year stopover for the Tar Heels. Quick throw, and it's caught by Austin Prohl, the senior from Charlotte. What a story he's been this year. Injured, broken collarbone in week 2. He was deemed out for the year and made his return last week. Perseverance at its best. That ball falls incomplete. One hopping to Jarius Moorhead and intended for Jordan Cunningham.
Cunningham would have been open, and it looked like he was pulling and tugging, trying to get across the middle of the football field. That's good aggressive defense by the Wolfpack in that back end, setting up a 3rd and very long here, 3rd and 7.
Here comes the blitz. Elliott incomplete on 3rd down. Intended for Fritz, and the Wolfpack D comes up big with 2 straight 3-and-outs.
And credit Bradley Chubb coming from the field side. He was making it very uncomfortable for Nathan Elliott to step into that throw and set up. Good job by pressing that pocket, the senior from Georgia.
Expect to call his name a lot today and perhaps hear it called as a top 10 draft pick come the next NFL draft. Lent sends Locklear chasing toward the Carolina sidelines as they kick it away. A 1-score game with 7:06 in the first in Raleigh.
This is the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series. The Allstate Saturday Kickoff is presented by Allstate, official protector of college football fans, and in part by Mazda. Driving matters.
Perhaps the loudest cheer of all today for Bradley Chubb, the defensive end. Him and Jalen Samuels, perhaps 1 and 2, with crowd appreciation when they came out of the tunnel today.
It was loud. It's been loud since the seniors were announced, and after that offensive touchdown, it should get louder.
Hines going wide, now turning back to the inside of the field with the run on 1st down from the junior from nearby Garner, North Carolina. A pickup of 8 there, and his health was in question this week. After he left the game 3rd quarter last week against Wake Forest, they certainly could have used him down the stretch. Going through the team's concussion protocol this week. He got back healthy, cleared, and said he wouldn't miss this game for the world.
And he looks great. He looked good in warm-ups, and he looks good running the football so far early in this game.
Samuels takes it, side of the field with a couple of tight ends, and he gets the 1st down, taken down from behind by Miles Wolfhook and Miles Dorn.
Creative call by offensive coordinator Eli Drinkwitz. He's able to send him in motion to the short side and then bring Jalen Samuels to the wide side of the field where he can do some damage and move the chains.
John, he's just the guy number 1 in red that's got to make defenders nervous wherever he goes.
You have to identify him each and every play if you're a defender.
1st and 10. Samuels takes the flip. He's got a blocker in front. And a backpack tackle wrangles him near midfield. Britt the stop. But another nicely designed play for the Wolfpack moves the chains.
any way you can get the football to a playmaker, when you can get 11 yards there and 7 yards on a regular run and chunk yardage plays later in the game, moving him down the field, you want to be able to get matchups for your guys that are good in space, and Jalen Samuels is one of those guys.
Finley's got time. He looks for a one-on-one matchup for Harmon, and the pass incomplete.
Well, Finley had the right idea. That was good coverage down the field by KJ Sales. The only option was a back shoulder throw, try to stop your wide receiver and throw him open. Finley started the first drive 4 for 4 for 31 yards, had a 4th down sneak, had a touchdown on a quarterback sneak. There was a good opportunity down the field.
Harmon had a bit of an uncharacteristic game last week with 3 drops. He's only got 5 on the year. Nobody really sure why, and nobody's also sure why there's a beach ball on the field as well, which stops play. Officials timeout.
I think that beach ball's
unintended inflatable.
Yeah, I think this one's going down right here.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
It's going down. There you go. Good job, Sheriff.
He was quick with that.
Hey, not only the offensive NC State runs with tempo, the Sheriffs over here have some tempo. This is great.
Constable on patrol for just about anything that comes into play. Dwayne Haight, our referee today here at Carter Finley Stadium. I just hope that goes in the official box as beach ball delay.
It will. It should. Duly noted.
Back to the ground, 2nd down and 10. Hines spun forward inside the 45-yard line. A couple of games where he's been limited this year. You had the Wake Forest game and then Clemson and Notre Dame. There's one common thread between all those games. Losses for NC State, as we mentioned right at the beginning of the show. All close with the exception of that Notre Dame game where Dave Doran noted, hey, look, we have 5 starters go out in 1 quarter. It's going to be a little bit difficult to pick up a victory there. A little bit confusion here on defense for UNC. Ball pops up into the air and falls incomplete as Finley was looking for the quick completion.
Well, you talk about confusion. The cornerback, it looked like KJ Sales was arguing inside with Jonathan Smith, the linebacker. Confusion to the short side, but 2 defenders went to 1 wide receiver, and that's where the ball went. So if you're Ryan Finley, you probably want that one back and maybe get it out to Samuels, who had some leverage on the outside.
A.J. Cole set to punt it away to M.J. Stewart back at the 10-yard line. See if he can drop a pin here. And he does. All the way down to the 7. Backed up. Carolina on the offensive.
It's a Phil Knight birthday bash. 4 teams, 2 championships, 1 time only. Celebrate PK 80 tomorrow.
Luke May off to a great start for UNC on the basketball side. Already 100 points, 50 rebounds. First in the first 5 games since Anton Jamison 20 years ago to do that for the Tar Heels. They start pinned back deep after a great punt. Michael Carter, the freshman out of Florida, gets his first carry today for UNC.
Great example of running to the football led by safety Moorhead. Jarius Moorhead and probably 4 of his teammates get out there and close up a gaping hole, what looked to go for maybe 6 or 7. Minimal gain on first down for the Tar Heels.
Testing the left side, and the penetration is just too quick and too strong from the defensive line for NC State.
Pratt coming from that linebacker position. He had held up front B.J. Hill, and now the crowd gets into it. two positive defensive plays, and North Carolina State, they just look like they're running downhill defensively. Might be time to take a shot. Give yourself a chance outside.
Elliott does heave into single coverage along the sideline, intended for Jordan Cunningham, and two late flags come in at the end of the play.
Mike, I always felt as a quarterback, when things aren't going your way, get somebody running down the field. You've got a chance for a big play, or you've got a chance for pass interference. And there, Mike Stevens on the body of Jordan Cunningham.
Like he was trying to climb over the top of him.
Yeah, he was trying to go through him. If he would have turned and located the football, I think he would have seen it was well overthrown.
So it takes a penalty, but UNC picks up the first down out to the 23. Here's Ratliff Williams. He can throw it. Incomplete, and another flag comes in. That's the fifth pass that Ratliff Williams has thrown this year. And it looks like it's going to be more yardage for the Tar Heels.
And Mike, this is a really smart play by Brandon Fritz. I don't think this was defensive pass interference. I think this was offensive pass interference because Fritz initiated the contact around the defender's head. He brought him in so it looked like defensive pass interference. Watch the end of this play. Brandon Fritz is going to bring the defender to him and almost face guard him. It should have been one of two penalties. It should have been an offensive face mask, or it should have been offensive pass interference.
And the hometown crowd letting the officials know it. That run bursting through the middle out toward midfield gets stopped at the 44-yard line. So now this is as far as North Carolina has advanced so far. Here we are, 3 minutes left in the first quarter, and this has been their most productive drive.
And it's taken two penalties to get UNC this far offensively.
Chubb hangs on for the tackle on Brown, the sophomore out of Durham. Trying to go over 100 yards today, which he hasn't done since week 3, but he's been a heavy carry guy, at least 10 touches in all but the opening game against Cal this year.
Mike, I think for North Carolina to be successful today on offense, they're going to have multiple people touch the football. Spread it around, keep NC State guessing defensively.
1st and 10, strong pocket, big heave down the middle of the field. Ratliff Williams is in with the equalizer. 6-all, UNC and NC State. "51-yard hookup as Elliott throws his 8th touchdown of the year."
Great execution against pressure defense. As soon as Nathan Elliott saw the defenders from NC State creeping around the line of scrimmage, he knew he had the green light with his big play maker on the outside.
Freeman Jones, extra point. True. A lot of different guys going to have to touch the ball, John. They're going to have to find some explosive plays as well. 51 yards. Elliott to Ratliff Williams. Tar Heels lead on the road. Nathan Elliott getting his 3rd college start today. Throwing a touchdown to Anthony Ratliff Williams, 51-yarder, and now gets the review as well with 2:09 left here in the first. So, John, basically a stale first couple of drives for the Tar Heels, and then that one breaking things out after they hadn't moved past the 31-yard line prior to that drive.
It was encouraging for the Tar Heels that they had the football deep in their own end. They didn't give it away. And then they had the opportunity with the two penalties to get good field position. They took their shot then.
Hines dipped a couple of toes into the waters of the end zone. and gets tackled by a triumvirate of special teamers back of the 10.
It's just great execution against blitz coverage by quarterback Nathan Elliott. He knows the middle of the field is going to be wide open, and what does he do? He leads his wide receiver, Ratliff Williams, away from the pressure, away from Sean Boone, and towards the green grass. That's just an excellent play, smart play by the quarterback against pressure coverage, and he knew that Ratliff Williams would just chase it down for the 51-yard touchdown.
Sixth touchdown catch of the year for him. Team's leading wide receiver in multiple categories. Empty backfield, first down for Finley, looking for a reciprocal shot into the hands of Jacoby Myers. What strength as he goes to the ground. Let's go to the studio. Here's Chris Cotter. All right, Chris, after a 35-yard pickup through the air, it's to the ground as Nyheim Hines dances his way deeper into UNC territory. What a way to respond with a big throw like that.
Myers, you called it, Mike, perfectly. Great strength through the catch to the ground. Ryan Finley taking advantage of man-to-man coverage. The safety couldn't get out of the middle fast enough. And then the strength at the end of that catch by Myers.
Well, Eli Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator for NC State, anticipating a big day for Myers, especially with the amount of nickel and dime that UNC's playing, with how many injured linebackers they've got. Injury report at 21 players, either unavailable or out today.
This is going back to this catch a couple of plays ago. Short side of the field, seam route, right on the numbers. Look at the strength. He knows he's taking the shot from the safety. And Jacoby Myers just able to come down with that catch. High points the football, takes it into the number 11 and down to the turf.
Nicely done by the former quarterback. That's what he came in as. They threw it to him 15 times last week in Winston-Salem.
Knew I liked that guy, Mike.
They're all good. Across the middle, going right back to him, incomplete, but a flag down. MJ Stewart's broken up more passes than anybody in Carolina history. Not that time.
Well, you're right, Mike. He's come into the game with 12 breakups at the nickel position, playing tough along that slant route. Jacoby Myers trying to fight inside. Stewart still battling to the officials, saying it wasn't me. I didn't get that interference call, but they saw it a different way.
41 passes broken up for his career. First down and 10. Immediate pressure up the middle. The window closing for Finley, who heaves down the sideline. His pass incomplete, but a flag thrown from near the goal line.
It looked like KJ Sales this time on the holding call on Kevin Harmon.
John, for as proficient as NC State can be running the ball, UNC is giving them every reason to keep throwing to the perimeter.
You're right. NC State has a wealth of talent on the outside. They've got size. It's tough to hang with them when you go man-to-man coverage. You get it close to the framework, and as a defender, you're bound to make contact.
Last play of the first quarter right here. And Stewart comes in to chop down Hines. 15 minutes in the books. It was NC State on the board first. But with this being UNC's bowl game equivalent today, They empty out everything in the playbook. Ratliff Williams gives them the lead. Rivalry week continues later today on ESPN. It's Clemson and number 24 South Carolina in Columbia. 538.com. Pretty cool playoff predictor there. You go there. Coming into the week, it was a 70% chance for Clemson to reach the playoff. That was before yesterday's action. You can also see that game on the ESPN app.
What happened yesterday, Mike? I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I'm sitting next to a Pitt alum. I figured he might know.
I did.
Hines gets the carry here, and it brings up third down. Those guys are a lot friendlier together than the players were on the field about 2 o'clock today.
They don't know any better at that age. That's great. Give it time, Mike. Give it time.
Everybody says throw out the records this week, and it's been alternating wins back and forth the last couple of years with the road team coming out the victor. The road team in the lead here by a point.
If I'm Ryan Finley, I might work the slot to the wide side of the field here.
Jacoby Myers, 11 in red in the slot. That pass to the outside falls incomplete, intended for C.J. Riley, getting a little bit more playing time over these last couple of weeks. Him and Emeka Amizi seeing more action with Stephon Lewis, the redshirt junior wide receiver, out last week with an ankle injury, hurt against BC, and there he is out again this week. He went through warm-ups, but didn't look too hot.
No, and Dave Dorn also told us about their opportunities on fourth down. Fourth and medium, fourth and short. They're going to keep the offense out there and go for it. That's exactly what they're doing here.
It's Gillespie in the backfield. Samuels into the slot. Finley's got all day. Throwing to the end zone, off the crossbar. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Ball back to North Carolina when we return here to Carter Finley. In an ideal world, Brandon Harris there, number 6 on the left, the grad transfer from LSU, is the quarterback all year. In the real world, it hasn't played out that way, John.
Well, it's been frustrating. It's been a lot of inconsistency, multiple injuries at the position, and now you have Nathan Elliott, who started the last 2 games out there for North Carolina.
Jermaine Pratt comes up to basically suplex Jordan Brown to make the tackle, and it's been a difficult day in the early going trying to run the football for Carolina.
The front 7 for North Carolina State has dominated this first quarter and a couple of plays into it. You just feel like North Carolina State is dominated on the field, but on the scoreboard they're behind by 1.
A missed extra point, the difference. Elliott, the native Texan. That's his southpaw toss fly, and it's into the hands of Ratliff Williams. Already 1 touchdown under his belt today, and he tiptoes out to the 40-yard line. Turned around to grab it and gains 39.
Great awareness by Ratliff Williams. He knows this ball's underthrown. He lets Alston go right by him, comes back, reacts to the football, and now the Tar Heels in excellent field position.
They get a little bit up-tempo and hand it off for Brown. You mentioned how great this defensive front is here for NC State. It's such a great defense. Last week held Wake Forest just 87 yards on the ground. Now, that doesn't make up for the outcome, of course, for Wolfpack fans. An injured player down on the field, but this has got to be somewhat of a dream season for Dave Huxtable, the defensive coordinator, to have 9 seniors in your starting group.
They run, they hit, they're experienced, and you know you're going to have a lot of bodies to replace as we watch Jordan Brown go to the sidelines. That unit for NC State, they know leverage, they know all about getting after the quarterback, and most importantly, they know they have to stop the run first and foremost.
So with Brown going out, responsibilities in the backfield turn over to Michael Carter, the freshman. They split carries about 2-to-1 this year. So a bigger workload, not too much of an increase or an ask for him. 3rd down and short here for UNC.
This is where you have to get organized quickly. Line up at the line of scrimmage, get a play called, and try to catch NC State off guard.
The pack send 3. The throw into double coverage is incomplete. And a high one intended for the tight end, Fritz, defended by Mike Stevens.
And North Carolina may keep their offense out on the field. 4th and short. 3-8 record. You're up by a point. You've got pretty good field position. Let's roll the dice. Let's let your sophomore quarterback, who's gaining experience with every play, come out and try to make a play here on 4th down. If it were me, I would lean on the perimeter, lean on Ratliff Williams to make a play top of the screen.
Defensive line spread out wide. They rush just 2 on the slant to Prohl. He catches and tucks it in. What a veteran play for the senior from Charlotte.
Boy, a nice design that time. They replace Prohl, or Ratliff Williams, with Prohl. They motion him outside. They let Ratliff Williams take everybody to the inside, and Prohl sits in that zone and replaces him for the first down.
Elliott had his eyes in just one direction, intended for another native Texan, Bo Corrales.
Watch how Prohl replaces Ratliff Williams. He's going to clear out, and then he just goes right into that space that's occupied by no one in a red jersey.
Second and 10 with the Tar Heels trying to add to their 1-point advantage. A toss over the top. It is caught by Carter, and he is into the end zone standing up.
What a great ad-lib by Nathan Elliott. Michael Carter is only 5'9", and he's wishing he was about 6'4", because he hangs in the air till the last second, but he's able to fingertip and high point that football and go in for the touchdown. 8 plays, 75 yards, tack on the extra point, and UNC up 14-6.
The Tar Heels have been all about the big play. 114 of their 154 in just 3 plays, and they got the lead.
The All-State Saturday Kickoff is brought to you by Dr. Scholl's and Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here.
The season ends tonight for North Carolina, so why not leave it all on the line? On the road here, the Tar Heels, surprising, 14-6 is their lead with 11:46 left in the second quarter. Mike Cousins and John Kangemi with you here from Raleigh, North Carolina. Touchback on the kickoff by Jones. It's a little bit reminiscent, this game, of 2012 for North Carolina, a year where they were not bowl eligible that season. Ended up winning that game late on a big-time return on a punt by Gio Bernard. And so a lot of people thinking coming into this game, hey, this has got a little bit of a similar sizzle to that one.
You know, early it looked like NC State was dominant, especially on defense. They were able to run at will, and now you fast forward to almost the midway point of the second quarter, and North Carolina is in control. This is time for the Wolfpack to answer.
Finley spins out of the backfield. Second level, Jacoby Myers pretty wide open there. 15 yards on the catch. He might well test his best game of the season, which came against Clemson, where he went for 105 yards and a touchdown.
2 100-yard games on the season. One of those guys that can really run nice, crisp routes on the outside.
Ruled as a 14-yard pickup, and that's going backwards. Jalen Dalton, one of 2 defenders in there early on the stop, all over the pitch.
Boy, when you set the edge to the short side, there's just no running room on the option. Good job by Jalen Dalton getting that big body outside, 6'6", 295. all of them was outside the numbers on that play.
Good recognition for the defense for John Papuchis, the first-year defensive coordinator. Says this Wolfpack team is the most complete offense they've seen all season. Lots of weapons trying to put them to work. Second down and long, they set up the screen pass. No, sir.
The entire momentum of this game seems to be switched. North Carolina is everywhere now. Great recognition on the option. This time, it's on the screen pass. Jason Stonebridge, only a sophomore from Deerfield Beach, Florida. He's outside the numbers making plays, and NC State going backwards with 3rd and long now.
They need 17 for the first. Well short of that. Jonathan Smith, the linebacker, coming up to make the tackle. And that brings on the punt team. You know what's been fun about this game so far, though, is teams going for it on 4th down. Now, this isn't 4th and obvious here. You're going to punt it away in your own territory and 8 yards to go. But, hey, it's like empty it out here last game of the year.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they get a look here, NC State, that they have a fake built into this. If they get a look that they've seen, remember, they're trying to make plays there on special teams as well.
A.J. Cole, after a bobble, just happy to get that one away. As there is a flag down at the 37-yard line. Cole, the punter, averaging 45 yards a kick. Best in the ACC. NC State not at its best right there. Elliott and the Tar Heels back to work on Oak. The Tar Heel offense has come to life. Their first 2 drives, 6 for 11. Sounds like a fast food deal. They didn't get past their own 31-yard line. The last 2, couple of touchdowns. Jordan Brown in the backfield there behind Elliott. Saw him go off injured before, and now he's back in action. It's Daz Newsome, the receiver, who gets
that's got to be 15.
to the line of scrimmage. I don't see a flag.
I can't believe that. This looks like it's going to be 15 yards, and you take your right hand and you sling the offensive wide receiver that's running an end around into the bench. I think Jermaine Pratt got away with one there.
I agree. And it goes down as just a gain of a yard. Straight out of the backfield, Brown across midfield. Brings up 3rd down and real comfortable for UNC. Don't forget the ESPN app is a fan's best friend on days like today. You can stream every ESPN and ABC college football game live at home or on the go. You got some good action. Wisconsin, Minnesota with a 13-game win streak in that series on ABC. Oklahoma, West Virginia on ESPN. And Temple over on ESPN News taking on Tulsa with the Owls looking to be bowl eligible.
Big down here for NC State. They have to find a way to get off the field.
3rd and 4, a short toss goes to the sticks. And a favorable spot should be a first down.
Good awareness by Nathan Elliott, the quarterback. Just using his outlet. Jordan Brown checking down. Nothing down the field that he likes. Gets on his toes, throws Brown a catchable pass, and is able to move the chains for a first down.
Brown's a reliable guy for Elliott coming into today with 26 catches, 2nd on the team, only to Ratliff Williams. Good blocking here, set up to take a shot, and it's tipped away by Mike Stevens. Good job to get the left hand in there and break up the pass.
Stevens comes around the body of Ratliff Williams with the left hand. Officials deemed that the right hand around the waist wasn't going to get called. Good aggressive play on first down by the senior.
Backpedaling, nowhere to go except for down. Darian Roseboro, relentless pursuit. The junior with the sack, sending Elliott back for a dozen.
Good recognition by the front seven. This is going to be a screen to the wide side of the field. B.J. Hill's the guy that runs underneath the screen, and Roseboro's the guy that tracks down Elliott for a negative play on second down.
Third and 25. Trying to go to the air again, and it's just a desperation throw with pressure from Chubb. And a flag back at the 31.
Now that's more like the defensive front 7 and 11 that started the football game for NC State. A lot of pressure in the pocket, good recognition on the screens.
Chubb, NC State's all-time leader in sacks and tackles for a loss. Impactful, whether he ends up making a tackle or not, because of what he does to the opposition. They've got to find him all the time.
Another mistake by North Carolina.
Going back on offense here, John, as you alluded to a few moments ago, this is a chance for NC State to grab the end of this half by the horns and regain control.
They need to get the momentum back on their side as North Carolina seems to be going backwards.
They're moonwalking via penalty flag back toward their own goal line.
And this is going to turn out to potentially flip the field for NC State in their offense. That's got to be frustrating. A lot of frustrating moments, I would think, this year for head coach Larry Fedora, but this is self-imposed before the ball's even snapped. That'll get you going.
Said he's never had a year like this in 30 years of coaching. Takes a nice Tar Heel tumble down the sideline, out of bounds at the 34. Make sure you get your Week 12 NFL Sunday started with the Countdown Crew at 10 Eastern on ESPN. All the early breaking stories, injury updates for you, and a preview of each game right up until kickoff. And you can see NFL Countdown as well on the ESPN app. So decent start here at the 34-yard line after the punt. What do you want to see here from NC State?
Well, I'd like to see him get back to controlling the line of scrimmage and run the football. They were at their best early in the game when they had the mix of run and pass going.
Hines wins a one-on-one battle on the edge. First down and more after he escaped Miles Dorn. He kept turning it upfield.
That's just speed on the perimeter. You have to have leverage to stop it. You can't stop it from the inside out, as Miles Dorn found out. And Hines takes a big shot at the end of this from Britt, but excellent field position there on first down.
Back to Hines. Gets 8 on that run.
Mike, this is what I like from NC State. You get back, you establish yourself at the line of scrimmage, you run the perimeter, you run it in between the tackles, and now you spread them out with the trips formation to the wide side of the field.
Second down and 2. It's the workhorse again. First down to the 35 for Hines. If he has a big day, how about this, what he can do? If he gets 156 yards today, puts him at 1,000 for the year, it will be the second straight year to have a 1,000-yard rusher for the Wolfpack. Matthew Days, who's with the Cleveland Browns now, did it last year with over 1,100, but that hasn't happened here since the late 70s. Ted Brown in back-to-back seasons, the all-time leading rusher in this conference. He's got energy. Couple of blockers, closed door, turn it back the other way, and take it to the 30.
I think now you go back to your playmakers on the outside. Jalen Samuels, get him in motion. Jacoby Myers. Try to find one of those guys on the perimeter here on second down.
It's a test to the edge. Harmon on the outside. And a fight for it all the way to the ground with KJ Sales, the corner. Give him 21. A man's play to bring it inside the red zone.
That's a contested catch on the outside. Harmon goes up and tries to rip the football away, and I'm not so sure Sales didn't have more control of this as he was going to the ground.
Wolfpack are quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Finley takes it inside the 5.
Harmon's going to try to rip this one away on the previous play, but Sales is able to get 2 hands on it going to the ground. They give the catch to Harmon and keep this drive alive.
He took firm control to the ground there. 90-10.
It just depends what goggles you've got on, right? Now I think Hines is going to have to make a play in between the tackles here.
Samuels takes the snap. He can do just about anything with the football, but he can't run through a wall of Carolina blue and white.
The way Hines has been running the football on this drive, I would just soon leave him back there at the tailback spot and give him the football. I know that Samuels can do a lot of everything.
From the pistol, Finley, untouched. The Wolfpack all the way within 2.
We got a little disagreement going on down on the field after that touchdown.
And an injured Wolfpack player as well. It's a pregame reprise of the scuffle that took place about 90 minutes before kickoff.
Looks like Tony Adams may be down for NC State, the right guard, holding that left knee.
He's been a mainstay for them, has played every snap of every ACC game this year.
Really nice job on the zone read by Ryan Finley. Good blocking on the perimeter. Cole Cook, the tight end, kicking out. Offensive line slamming inside. Gaping hole off the right side, but Tony Adams now down on the field, one of those guys you depend on up front.
Such a vital part of the offensive line that helps Finley succeed. 2 rushing touchdowns for him today. 1 on 4th down, 1 on 3rd down. And when Tony Adams is off the field, we go to the studio. Here's Chris Cotter. All right, thanks, Chris. We got a 2-point game, under 3:30 left until halftime. And the offense stays on the field for NC State to try and even this game at 14. Why not? This game has been fun.
Absolutely. I'm all for it. I totally agree with Dave Dorn, the head coach for NC State. Let's tie this thing up. Keep the momentum on our side.
Keep an eye on number 1, Samuels, tight to the right. Finley back at the 15. Throwing and the pass nearly intercepted. The 2-point try is no good. MJ Stewart steps in front.
One of those things you have to do. You have to finish on drives. That's exactly what Ryan Finley did, and they closed the gap to 2.
Twilight action here in North Carolina. The Tar Heels have 14-12 over NC State. A failed 2-point try. Looked like Finley there, John, had a little bit of a look right after he started to roll out.
You know what? I thought he had Hines early, and he could have maybe put it right on the 7. But it's a tough decision down there. Everything happens so quickly when you're inside the 10, inside the 5-yard line, especially on a 2-point try.
So Bambard sends it off the tee for Ratliff Williams. He's taken 2 back for touchdowns this year. And with the collision, sent backwards. And now we've got more players out on the field causing trouble with one another. Third time that's happened today. This game's got everything so far, and we're not 30 minutes in. Tell you what, it's been a carefree attitude from both sides. It's got going forward on 4th down. It's got 2-point conversion tries in the first half. And then a lot of extracurricular action as well that the crowd is more than happy to cheer on.
And I think the officials are going to try to get a handle on this, talking to both head coaches. They're all for the emotion. They're all for the passion of the rivalry. But you got to be able to play it within the limit of the rules, and I think that message is going to the North Carolina sideline right now.
And you know what? I think this is a good move here by Dwayne Haight, the referee. Perhaps the message being, look, if it happens again, we wanted you to know we didn't throw a flag that time, but if it happens again, there's going to be penalties or perhaps ejection.
Or we're going to start to take control of this game. We're going to give you guys the opportunity to control your sidelines, but if you don't do it, we will.
So after all that, oh, by the way, first down from the 17 for UNC. Second time today, they've given it off to Newsome. And he goes for first down yardage. The freshman from Hampton, Virginia. This is 90 minutes before kickoff. This was about as friendly as it's been today.
That's right. It started before the uniforms were even on, and now after the touchdown, you get players that go down. Tony Adams was down, and on the ensuing kickoff, another altercation. So North Carolina did the right thing. They came back and responded with a 20-yard run.
And they followed up with another big play, another first down catch for Ratliff Williams, the former dual threat quarterback out of Butler High School in Charlotte. We've already seen him try one pass today. There was a flag on that play, but wouldn't be surprised if he throws it again later today.
If I'm North Carolina, I throw another deep shot short side of the field here. Had the perfect matchup.
Perfect matchup. What'd you see?
Ratliff Williams single coverage on the outside against Alston. Alston's had trouble locating the football. That's where I would go right now. If you don't have a safety coming off the hash to help, and that would be Dexter Wright, I'd go with that matchup to the top. There it is.
Big time pressure, and the pass incomplete from Elliott. Chubb in there on the play. Former linebacker when he came in, about 30 pounds lighter. Always a force to be reckoned with.
The thing I really like about Bradley Chubb is his athleticism. He can run with the best of them, and that time Alston trying to run outside with Ratcliffe Williams on that comeback route.
E.J. Hill sends him back to the 40-yard line. This crowd just gets even louder with each successive snap. Coming up later on ESPN, it'll be third-ranked Clemson and number 24 South Carolina in Columbia to put a good nightcap on rivalry week. You can see that game as well on the ESPN app. As of late, as you know, Clemson has been the dominant team. They've won the last 3 against the Gamecocks last year, a decisive 56-7 final as they look to improve their standing for the college football playoff.
Hard to believe Dabo Swinney's only 4-5 against South Carolina in that matchup. And it's hard to believe that now it's 3rd and 18. Just last series, North Carolina had a 4th and 35. So their offense going backwards at a critical juncture in this game.
Next to nothing on the run for Brown. But John, you go back to Swinney's record against USC. Just look at what we've got here today through almost a half. Records don't mean a thing today.
No. You're right. Quarterback Kelly Bryant. Coming down the stretch, got to play at his best to keep Clemson where they are.
That's where Clemson sits, out in front of NC State, which, but for a few plays against Clemson, 2 straight years where it didn't go their way, and last-second opportunities. Last week against Wake Forest on a fumbled ball at the goal line, they might find themselves in a very different position. Punts have been challenging today, but this is a nice one for Locklear. That backs him up near the 10-yard line with 2 minutes to go as it sails for 45, but there are multiple flags down at the end of this play. Hunter Crawford there.
Yeah, once that helmet comes off, you can't be involved in the play. You can't run down. You can't really do anything. You can't track down the football or the ball carrier. You just have to lay out of the play. And that'll tack some instant field position on to NC State with 2 minutes remaining before halftime. There goes the helmet right there. You have to stop running. You can't go down and pursue on the punt cover team.
You think a guy with a full half face of eye black and that hair is stopping after the helmet comes off?
I think he's going to take the penalty. And he did.
So 11 first half penalties combined for 103 yards. And a 1st and 10 at the Wolfpack 26. You got whistles again. This is a good spot here for NC State. They can score. They won the toss and deferred. So they can turn this into quite a swing if they can put something together here in these last 2 minutes. A literal 2-minute drill for the Wolfpack. A long throw for not a very big pickup finds Jacoby Myers toward the sideline. That's a matchup they wanted to exploit today. Myers guarded by the nickelback Miles Wolfhook for UNC.
And that was good coverage on 1st down. As you said, it about a 20-yard throw for 5-yard gain.
Finley keeps and initiates the slide, but he's short of the marker, so the clock continues to roll inside a minute 30.
Those are the ones you wish you go head first and you stop the clock with the first down. That's valuable time coming off the clock right now without getting the first down.
And they got just one timeout, so they've got to play real close with that one. Took them about 20 seconds after the slide, but Myers gets a big chunk of it back.
Working the short side of the field. Good quick throw. Nice protection. Little double pump, and he finds Myers outside for 19 yards, and now on the Tar Heel side of the 50.
Myers 5 catches today, 75 yards from Finley. Finley's got 5 options. Doesn't find any of them. It's Myers splayed out. So now down to a minute. And again, the field goal kicking situation this year for NC State has been less than optimal between 2 different kickers, Bambard and Wise, a combined 50%. So odds are they're
it's
rolling the
down
dice
territory. Yeah, until halftime. Locate number 1. Where's Jalen Samuels? That's what the Tar Heel defense needs to do.
Tough read here for Finley with just 1 down lineman for the Tar Heels. It's Gillespie, the junior from High Point, North Carolina. There's Samuels.
They need some more urgency here. It's 3rd down, 3rd and 6. Get up to the line and get this play call. It's under 35 seconds.
Tar Heel pressure. Finley off his back foot, makes a heave, and that ball is intercepted. Now the Tar Heels have it at the 45 as Wolfhook gets his 2nd interception this year. Like catching a pop fly for a center fielder. 17 seconds left on the clock and all 3 timeouts.
Mike, I think that interception and decision was a byproduct of not being organized and have enough urgency at the line of scrimmage and running a play. You're hanging around and you make a bad play worse before halftime. This should be a throwaway without giving the football back to North Carolina around midfield. UNC still has 2 timeouts remaining and 17 seconds.
Midfield can sometimes be trick play territory. Let's see what UNC goes with. Straight up throw to the sideline. Incomplete. Down to 12 seconds now with the pass intended for Ratliff Williams. Coming up at the half, we'll get you an update in the studio on the Iron Bowl, Auburn and Alabama. Alabama at number 1 in the college football playoff rankings, 11-0, and Auburn on the outside looking in right now at number 6. So a little conservative. Chubb comes up to make the tackle there. And that looks like it'll wind down half number 1. Off to their respective tunnels. Lots of words to be exchanged. Hopefully that's it for Carolina and State.
Well, I think Nick Chubb's playing traffic cop, telling North Carolina which way to go over here.
Well, as history has it, the road team has been the winner in each of the last 4 games. And at the break, it's the road team with the lead, 14-12, UNC over NC State. We're only halfway through with this one.
It's been fun.
Early fireworks. Our college football halftime report coming up after these messages.
Luke Rivalry Series.
As good as advertised so far between UNC and NC State. This was 90 minutes before kickoff, and a couple of in-game skirmishes as well, John Congemi. Two teams clearly have brought the weeks full of hype right to the field.
There's been a lot of excitement when the clock was running and sometimes when it wasn't. And it's been fun. It's been a fun 30 minutes, and you've got guys like Bradley Chubb that are excitable. You've got guys on the other side like Anthony Radcliffe-Williams that are been productive and excitable. So I think it's going to be a great second half with UNC up by 2 as we kick this thing off.
Chubb is a guy who has been noted for some chatter, for some fun as well, stealing the towels of opposing quarterbacks, but usually all in good fun, and that's just part of the rivalry here between these two teams. So as you mentioned, Anthony Ratliff-Williams with a nice first half, and Jacoby Myers with 6 catches in the first 30 minutes.
And look at the averages, 15.5, 15.7 and 33.7. These are big play wide receivers, and they're going to need to keep making space in the secondary, opposing secondaries, and finding big plays in this last 30 minutes.
Cook and Altenreith, the tight ends, in motion to start. And now Samuels across the formation back and forth. And it's Hines who gets stuffed for a gain of a yard on first down. Aaron Crawford in there to get him. Hines in the first half, 13 carries, 67 yards.
We were looking at this matchup. We felt if Aaron Crawford and Dalton and Stonebridge and Clark, some of those defensive tackles for North Carolina, if we were mentioning their names, this was going to be a positive for this defense that have had trouble stopping people against the run.
4-man rush, and here's a huge heave downfield. Pass falls incomplete as Harmon fell to the ground.
I think it's been fun so far watching quarterbacks test the corners down the field. Now the ankles and legs and lower extremities, they're getting tangled up going down the field, but I don't think that's a flag. I thought that KJ Sales did a good job of running down the field with Kevin Harmon on that shot opportunity.
Harmon held relatively in check in the first half, just one catch for 21 yards, but it was a nice one along the sideline. 8 defenders drop for UNC. And it's a pitch forward to the 30-yard line, taken in by Gillespie. Only to the 30-yard line, so not a very big burst on offense here to start the second half for NC State.
Mike, they come out as it could be another offensive lineman or 2 down for NC State.
In the first half, we saw the right guard Tony Adams come on for injury. And now it'll be 4th and 5 here after the injury timeout.
It looks like Joe Skolthorpe. You mentioned Adams going down with a left knee before halftime. And this is an offensive line that has played very well. A cohesive group up front for NC State.
Skolthorpe back to his feet.
Looks like he's holding the left arm. Let's take a look. If it gets pinned back, I think his own guy gets it a helmet on that elbow from behind. He's going in to push the pile, and that's where the injury occurred.
So it marks a 4th down and 5 now. A.J. Cole On to punt here, the junior from Georgia. One of the most versatile guys on this team, according to Dave Doran, not because of what he does on the field, but because he's been on mission trips on his spring breaks while he's been in college. So UNC 3-8. This is their bowl game today, and Nathan Elliott in his third college start with a nice first half, 10 for 19 through the air.
Well, it's been fun. It's been fireworks down the field, and just doing a good job of locating the football, coming back and making big plays for this offense. And here, in the red zone, Michael Carter climbs the ladder on a nice pitch by Elliott, who's played a pretty good football game.
He gives it up to Brown on first down. The sophomore brought down by Bradley Chubb.
I like the way Nathan Elliott handles himself on the field. Plays more with savvy and experience than his games would lend you to believe. 10 of 19 in that first half, and I think Larry Fedora is happy with the result through 30 minutes.
Pass intended for Jordan Cunningham. From Elliott, who came into this year as the longest tenured quarterback on this roster. 4 touchdown passes last week in a lopsided win against Western Carolina, 65-10.
Mike, this is where the pressure from a Bradley Chubb can affect the passing game. Short side of the field, he'll be going up against Charlie Heck, the right tackle.
Prohl in motion. Chubb got a good push, but not enough. And it was Prohl on the ground, the intended receiver, get up looking for a flag, and he's got one. It fell right on the Tuffy logo at midfield.
Looked like the back judge threw that flag very late. Played before, it looked like Jordan Cunningham and an NC State defender were tangled up. On this play on third down, Chubb and Charlie Heck tangled up, strength against strength. And that time Charlie does a good job of holding Bradley Chubb away from his quarterback.
Sophomore from Kansas City standing up against a future first-round NFL draft pick. First down 10, looking for his tight end down the sideline. In and out of the hands of Fritz. It's another position where they've been hurt by injury this year. Carl Tucker out for the season, just as his season was starting to get going. As we mentioned, if you are just joining us, injuries the biggest story this year for UNC. The injury report at 21 players coming into the season finale today. Second down and 10, just over the head of Prohl. There have been some times today, John, where Elliott has had seemingly enough time and the throws have just not been accurate.
Well, that one to the short side should have been placed on the sideline, right in front of the NC State bench, because Prohl had his route set up going inside, coming back to the outside, and that time Nathan Elliott just overthrew his wide open receiver.
So it makes for a 3rd and 10 as the Wolfpack shows early blitz up the middle.
Against pressure, where is your earliest receiver? Where can you go with the football quickly?
Fernandez and Moore, the linebackers, come on the blitz, and the ball is dropped by Fritz. He had it in his hands at the first down marker, and it forces a punt for UNC.
Well, those are plays you just have to make. And that's exactly what head coach Larry Fedora just told his tight end Brandon Fritz. You've got to come up versus pressure. You've got to get the ball out on time and on target. And that's exactly what Elliott did there on third down. But his big tight end could not come up with the catch.
So the former high school teammate of Mitch Trubisky, the tight end Fritz, would want that one back. And it's Lent, the junior, from Elon, North Carolina. Punting has been interesting today. Locklear takes that one back at the 15. Nice boot for 45. defensive line, linebackers. Not going to make life easy for Elliott as the Tar Heels are up by 2.
This is the All-State Saturday Kickoff.
Welcome back to the ACC on ESPN. Better than 57,000 on hand here today at Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina. A sellout for the regular season finale. Mike Cousins, John Congemi, glad to have you here with us as the Wolfpack takes over. And Nyheim Hines makes the catch out of the backfield. Nice pickup on first down. How about this for Ryan Finley, the quarterback? You go back to the interception he threw on a back foot throw at the end of the first half. His first 337 passes this year, no interceptions. In the next 100 after that, 6 picks, counting that one there at the end of the half.
Yeah, it's been a complete turnaround in the second half, or especially the last couple of games for Finley. And you have to be able to protect the football a little bit better in the passing game, make better decisions like he did early this season.
Well, they love to run off to the right side of that offensive line. That hole closes quickly. Another opens for Hines, who sprints across the 35-yard line. Finally tackled by Miles Dorn, but a gain of 20 for the junior.
Mike, and I think the key on offense for NC State is getting Nyheim Hines involved with great vision as he cuts back from his right to his left. Another big play in the running game for Hines.
Great athleticism in his family. His twin sister, Naya, is a hurdler at NC State. His run gives him first down and 10, and a quick throw to the outside is good for the freshman Emeka Amizi, getting back into action after what was a very disappointing end for him and the team last week with that fumble at the goal line for a near tying play against Wake Forest.
And a pure effort play by the freshman as well, just trying to extend and break the plane. He really felt bad for the result, not the effort, but the result of the play.
You couldn't help feel bad for him, too. He tweeted after the game an apology to the Wolfpack Nation. Certainly unnecessary. And it brings you back to the human element of remembering these are players who, especially at his stage, are still just teenagers.
Plenty of good football ahead.
So that play at the end of the Wake Forest game, a phenomenal defensive play as well for the defender who came over to knock the ball loose from about half the field away. And there was just no conclusive look at the goal line. Could it have been a touchdown? Maybe, maybe not.
Well, you could feel the frustration watching it live and then watching Nyheim or Emeka on the sidelines. It was just one of those things where you felt so bad for him as the result, but the effort is there, and you're glad to see him getting involved in this second half.
And Eli Drinkowitz, his offensive coordinator, said his level of play, nothing but phenomenal outside of that one fumble. Blitz from the Tar Heels, and a deep toss over the head of Jacoby Myers.
Taking another shot down the field, Ryan Finley trying to get it to his playmakers, but better coverage by the Tar Heels to start this second half.
The second half has been like a sailboat with no wind right now.
You may get one on special teams.
Cole lands it at the 20. Finley not too happy about where things have gone here in the second half, almost 5 minutes in.
The All-State Saturday Kickoff is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, proudly pouring Pennzoil Synthetics, and CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
Look at the girl in the gray sweatshirt. That's the best reaction there from anybody in the crowd for that proposal.
That was awesome.
I hope somebody turns that into a GIF very soon. UNC taking a shot on first down. Double coverage over Ratliff Williams. Not able to haul that one in as he got sandwiched. Well, look, gray sweatshirt right in the middle.
Love it. You gotta love her. She can't believe it.
Are you a thumbs up or a thumbs down on sporting event proposals?
I'm a little lukewarm on it. You know, you get a lot of people excited, especially the two people involved, but I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I guess I'm with it, Mike.
It's a bold move, nevertheless. 3rd and 10 coming up. Nice job by NC State, despite the offense not really getting charged up. They did flip the field for a drive that started on their own 13, sending it back to the North Carolina 21, and now hoping to get a push from the crowd behind them and get a stop on 3rd and 10.
Well, for UNC, you take a shot on 1st down. It was a great breakup by Dexter Wright. Try to throw a screen on 2nd, and now you know there's going to be some heat in the offensive backfield on 3rd down. They had a drop on their last 3rd down opportunity.
That was the tight end, Fritz. This ball looking for Corrales. Could not corral it, and it's 4th down. Elliott is now 0 for his last 8 attempts.
A lot of pressure on 3rd and long. You don't want to live there if you're North Carolina on offense. You have to do something on 1st and 2nd down to take some pressure off of your sophomore quarterback.
Locklear at the 35-yard line. That punt travels a long way and sends him backwards from inside the 25. And ends up to the 36. Well, don't forget to tune into the Home Depot College Football Awards on Thursday, December 7th, 7 Eastern on ESPN. It's live from the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta. If there's anybody who's award-worthy, it's certainly Bradley Chubb. All-time leader at NC State in sacks and tackles for a loss. At number 9, worn by Mario Williams, jumped over him in sacks and tackles for a loss earlier this month against Boston College.
We just love the way that Chubb plays the position with strength, speed, determination. He makes a lot of plays along and behind the line of scrimmage. Could be potentially looking at if the knee touched on that spin move.
Locklear got sent back to about the 20-yard line and trying to elude his tackler.
Initially, it looked like he did it effortlessly. He just kind of pinned that left hand on the ground. I don't think the knee even came close to touching and hitting the ground. This ball should be placed up close to the 35-yard line. Take another look from here.
Oh, he's good.
I think he was clean.
That's a quick review. Here's the call. .938 left here in the 3rd, and nothing doing with Carolina up by 2 over NC State. And now we've got a switch up at quarterback. Jalen McClendon is in to replace Ryan Finley with Reggie Gillespie in the backfield. 4th time he's seen game action this year. Just 3 pass attempts.
So
2 for 3.
Is this option on 1st down? Let's delay a game or motion. New quarterback in the game, you get a different cadence, you get different timing, and now you find the sideline and you put your starter Ryan Finley back in the game. That didn't work out too well for UM yesterday, did it?
Nope, and it didn't really work out well there either. 1st and 15. Already 4 possessions in just over 5 minutes here. And the game's still a 2-point contest. Here's Gillespie. He slips a couple of tacklers. And regains the penalty yardage to make it 2nd and 10.
What a great effort to make a negative run into a 5.5 yard gain. That's just good awareness and strength. Could have been 2nd and 16. Now it's 2nd and looks like closer to 2nd and 10.
Four-man front for Carolina, and it's slip and slide for Gillespie. Didn't look like there was a lot of room to begin with, but the turf just gave out underneath him.
There's been a massive lack of execution in this third quarter on both sides. I don't want to take anything away from the defenses, but it seems like the offenses are making it easy. It's self-imposed mistakes. It's not catching the football. It's not putting it on target. You've got to find a way on offense if you're a quarterback, and right now it's Ryan Finley's opportunity to make a play on third down.
And both of these teams have been entirely unremarkable on third down. It's 3 for 8 for NC State, which is 43% on the year. Finley over the middle. C.J. Riley, the redshirt freshman, only his 8th catch of the year, but a 13-yard hookup comes at a big time.
Oh, that's enormous in this third quarter. You escape a little bit. There really wasn't a whole lot of pressure in the pocket, but you leave and you make a play. You give some credit to C.J. Riley climbing the ladder on third down.
Gillespie wrangled by Jonathan Smith, a linebacker. Starting to hear some boos trickle up from the crowd.
It's been frustrating. It was a fun 30 minutes to start this game on both sidelines. I think both teams had reason to feel good about the third quarter, and it hasn't been all that productive on either side through the first 7.5 minutes.
And as the offense has slowed down, we really haven't called Jalen Samuels' name very much at all.
Hey, you got to go back to your playmakers. Where's Calvin Harmon? Where's Jalen Samuels? Where's Jacoby Myers? You got to get those guys involved.
That's on Josh Fed Jackson. Remember, we saw Tony Adams injured in the first half, and so it takes away some of the continuity of what you could call perhaps the strongest unit of 5 players on this team, what they call the band of brothers, the offensive line.
Here's Tony Adams on the sideline. He was working on that knee, trying to get back into the game. But you're right, you have different cadence with the quarterback for a play. That cost you 5. You got a procedure now. You're behind the chains again on second down.
Against a 3-man rush, they find the playmaker, Jalen Samuels, but there is a flag down.
This might come back for holding. Will Richardson, top of the screen, gets out a little bit early. That inside move, he wasn't ready to move his feet and just grabs Malik Carney to the ground.
He's been so trustworthy, started every snap of every conference game this year. Today, NC State trying to get to 6 ACC victories for the first time in 23 years. Second down and 23. Riley cutting inside. Some push from behind. And he's out toward midfield to pick up a 15.
Good blocking out in front of C.J. Riley on that receiver tunnel screen. Look down the field, come out to the perimeter. You've got the big body Prescott out in front, 2 receivers out in front. Jalen Samuels providing some leadership with blocking. And you've got a 3rd and manageable as a result. We've called Jalen Samuels his name blocking. I'd like to see him on the receiving end.
He starts in the slot. And the throw into coverage. And the ball comes loose. North Carolina has it going the other way. There's 2 flags down at the 40-yard line. as that ball was recovered by J.K. Britt. So a lot of questions. One, the flags. Two, was there a catch?
Mike, initially it looked like Miles Woolfork on the strip. He's going to come and make a play on the football.
That's a killer.
You think you're going to have the football number one if you're North Carolina in NC State territory. You've got the personal foul by Carney coming off the edge. There's the personal foul in the pocket that's called. And you get another one tacked on by KJ Sales. That's a backbreaker for the Tar Heels.
5.5 minutes left in the third. A season that has been full of frustration, boiling right now for Larry Fedora. Hines in the backfield on the doorstep of the red zone. And it's Samuels who has space around the corner. Gets about a dozen as he stretches on the run.
That's one of the guys you have to have touch the football if you're NC State. Naheem Hines is the next guy. You got to get him going between the tackles again. So you get that stretched east and west, and then you get that pounding running from Hines north and south.
Hines off to the right side. Cuts it back inside the 5. There's a flag down on the play. Inside the 10. Will Richardson, the right tackle again. Third penalty on this drive.
And the second hold on Richardson.
2 holds on Richardson and the false start on Fed Jackson at right guard.
Tough to get continuity and execution when you keep making mistakes up front.
So they got first and goal at the 17-yard line. And let's think, if things don't go well, a normal team kicks a field goal here.
Is it 4-down territory? Yes.
This team doesn't kick a field goal here. Finley from under center. Jets it underneath for Samuels. A juke and a tackle to the 9-yard line. So they get 8 yards back on the underneath pass.
Boy, great execution and great separation. There's a receiver open at every level. One in the flat, one in Samuels right down the middle, and then one in the back of the end zone. That was just good execution for Ryan Finley.
The freshman Amizi in the end zone. Can't bring it in.
.63 frame on the outside by Amizi, the freshman. He's going to try to go up, elevate, catch this football. This is a pretty good throw to the outside. Well, it's one you think you've got to come down with. Good pressure on the outside by North Carolina as well, challenging the pass in the air.
Myers has been a popular target for Finley today. He lines up in the slot, bottom of the screen. Third and goal. Myers drilled down at the 5-yard line, and a flag comes in as he's tackled by MJ Stewart.
Yeah, this might be a pick play, a rub play, pass interference offensively. You have to think about declining this.
Going to be 4th and goal at the 9-yard line. So with the penalty now, they're backed up with the penalty against C.J. Riley.
It's just a rub play offensively. You're going to have the receiver from the outside, Riley, come down, but his arms are extended and he stops running. That's going to get, actually he's grabbed by the defender as well, but as you're trying to set up that pick, you've got to run through that like you're a wide receiver that could potentially catch the football.
I think there's blame on both sides there. A little bit of acting, a little bit of holding.
Well, just as we saw earlier in the game when North Carolina drew that pass interference call, I think the defender played it smartly.
Third and goal, 24-yard line. Finley throws to the 21. Incomplete. And they say Hines was out of bounds.
Yeah, It's clearly out of bounds. Hines' left foot out of the field of play, and now you've got a 50-50 opportunity on 4th down.
Well, the options are binary. It's either good or it's not, and the results have been as well this year for Kyle Bambart. 3 for 6 with a try from 41 to match his season long. And the numbers dip below 50%. 3:07 left in the third. Score stays where it was at half.
It's a Phil Knight birthday bash. 4 teams, 2 championships, 1 time only. Celebrate PK 80 tomorrow.
Not going to win a lot of friends in this stadium tonight telling you Marvin Bagley is one of the best players to watch in college basketball for Duke, but he is.
Is that why you're telling me to read the card?
I like to get out of reading as much as possible during work. Michael Carter gets the run there on 1st down. So let's go back to the missed field goal there. Mike Cousins, John Kajemi with you here from Carter Finley Stadium. You got a kicker who's 50% on the year, already missed an extra point today. It's either a make or a miss, so 50% chance on the field goal. But if you go for it, you got goal to go. Your chances are probably lower than 50% of actually finding the end zone there. It's a really tough call for the head coach.
You really don't have any good decisions or solid decisions to make there. You're just trying to go with your gut, and your gut told you to kick it, and you go wide right.
Carter takes the shovel. Out of a good athletic family. His dad, Dwayne, played at South Carolina State. His older brother, Dwayne II, played at Harding University in Arkansas. Just a freshman out of Florida. Young backfield. He's a freshman in Brown. Split time with him tonight as sophomore. They sent Prohl out of the backfield. And going downfield, an accurate throw would be a nice catch for Ratliff Williams, tumbling backward, unable to grab that one.
I'm not so sure if Ratliff Williams lost his footing as he was breaking outside to adjust to the football. Elliott had plenty of time to find his playmaker down the field, and it just looks like this second half, the passing game for North Carolina has just been out of sync. No rhythm, no execution to depend on. We need to find something here on 3rd down to stay on the field, keep this drive alive with great field position.
Pocket collapsing. The native Texan on the run, diving forward toward the 50-yard line, which is what he needed, but he comes up short. There's a flag down and a Wolfpack defender down. But now Chubb is quickly back to his feet, trailing the play. Khalil Rogers, the left tackle.
It's gotten sloppy in this second half. I think both teams closing in on 10 penalties each. It seems like the offenses in the second half, they haven't been able to get the ball to their playmakers on time. And defensively, you're just waiting for somebody to make a play that changes the outcome of the game.
20 accepted penalties. Between 3 and 8 North Carolina, 7 and 4 NC State. The season ends today for UNC. NC State trying to improve its standing for whatever bowl game it may end up in for a 4th straight year.
It's been a busy night for the officials, especially in this third quarter. And I would think both sidelines feeling a little bit uneasy about what they can do well to change the momentum around. I know one thing, you better figure out where Bradley Chubb is on 3rd and very long, because he's going to be humming off the side. He is relentless as a pass rusher. You may want to move the pocket here or just hand it off on 3rd down.
Simple handoff for Carter. And it's Chubb who makes the tackle to bring the punt team onto the field.
Chubb has great eyes. He can recognize and close with his speed. Goes from a pass rusher to a run defender. Comes down the line of scrimmage to make that play.
Pursuing like a former linebacker, which he is. And now Hunter Lent punting from the 20. Well, John, offense hasn't been pretty in this quarter.
Neither has special teams.
It took the words right out of my mouth. Take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings, brought to you by Capital One. Wisconsin all over Minnesota, looking to make it 14 straight in that series. Result that jumps out to you is what, John?
Alabama. Well, the current score right now is the one, but the result of Miami going down has just been unbelievable. I would have never imagined Pitt had the talent, the way the season is going, to win at home in their finale, but that was shocking yesterday.
A team that is one of the 3 victories for North Carolina. The other 2, Old Dominion and Western Carolina last week. Hines and Finley in the pistol. Big hole on the right side. Couple of fenders miss, and it's off to the races for Nyheim Hines. He's gone, and the Wolfpack take the lead on a 54-yard touchdown run.
Getting back to the running game, Mike. That's what NC State wanted to do and needed to do in this second half, and they got it to Hines, and he explodes off the right side.
Now many holding their breath. That might be the loudest cheer of the day.
There we go. We got a touchdown and a well-executed extra point, but NC State takes advantage of great field position. 54 yards later, Nyheim Hines is in the end zone. It's just great blocking at the point of attack. Center Garrett Bradbury does an excellent job of walling off 2 defenders and then getting to the second level. And then it's all speed to the outside. That was Thud Jackson getting to the second level, but Bradbury, the center, he pinned 2 Tar Heel defenders behind Nyheim Hines, and that allowed the Gates wide open at the line of scrimmage, and that excites this home crowd.
Ratliff Williams from the 4 and down inside the 10. This crowd just got juiced after a touchdown, and even more life here for the defense coming onto the field.
Well, Mike, we were talking about it a couple minutes ago. Both of these teams were waiting for one player to make a play. Somebody needed to make a play, whether that's on offense, defense, or special teams. And for this home crowd in NC State, it was the running game, and now does it bleed over to the defense? Does the defense catch a little bit of that excitement? And you're hoping, if you're UNC, you can get that initial first down of this drive.
Flag comes in. Ratliff Williams grab from the backside on a first down catch. We'll find the infracting party.
So Mike Stevens out on the edge getting called for the hold. Well executed first down play, and now you've got that very first down. You get some momentum offensively for the Tar Heels.
And get out of that hole that they're dug into deep in their own territory. A lot of motion, and now it's Elliott on the run. He takes a good lick going down to the 35-yard line. Play of 13 and then 14 on the run by the sophomore quarterback.
Good decision in the zone read. That'll get the momentum in this crowd quieted down as we head to the final 15.
A revved up rivalry week. Sold out Carter Finley Stadium. 3 rounds down. Bradley Chubb says, "Give me another." 19-14. Wolfpack in front. The separator from Nyheim Hines. Welcome back to the All-State Saturday Kickoff, the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series. We've got 15 minutes to go. NC State taking a third quarter lead, 19-14, and on we go to the 4th from Raleigh. Elliott wants Ratliff Williams. No dice on 1st and 10, John, which is where they've taken a good number of their shots today.
Early in this game, they did a good job of pressuring the secondary of NC State on the edge down the field. They either had a completion or a penalty, and that's turned around for head coach Dave Doran. Coverage has been much better, and they've done a better job of pressuring Nathan Elliott in the second half.
Elliott only took over as the starter against Pitt after coming in against Miami. 3rd quarterback this year. Daz Newsome there gets the ball. Week 12 Monday Night Football takes us to Baltimore. The NFL's best, 9 touchdowns for DeAndre Hopkins and the Texans against Joe Flacco and the Ravens. Monday Night Countdown starts our coverage at 6 Eastern on ESPN.
How about that Ravens secondary? Lead the NFL with 16 interceptions, and Tom Savage trying to not throw it to the wrong color jersey on Monday night.
Just his 5th start. 1 for 9, 3rd downs today. 8 men drop back. That ball is tipped, and it is NC State football.
Initially, it looked like Nick McLeod gets the breakup, and it goes right into the arms of Arius Moore. Moore makes a great play. He lays out from the linebacker position. That's the breakup by McLeod, and Moore turns into the center fielder. That's a good athletic play, and that's a catch. That's an interception. Reason to get excited for the Wolfpack.
Second pick this year for him, and senior day just gets better for the linebacker from Ohio.
Sudden change. You got to be able to respond on defense. And down by 5, you need an answer defensively.
Finley wanted Hines in the backfield. Another run off to the right side, and perhaps another big one. He's down the middle of the field. He's gone again.
Mike, we were asking where did the offense go in the second half. Looks like Nyheim Hines, he answered the bell. And this offense will stay on the field and go for 2 here, up 25-14.
Last 2 plays, 54-yard touchdown run. That one a 48-yard touchdown run. And it's Hines behind Finley going for 2. Now what's been a rough kicking day for the Wolfpack. But the offense has been right on target. Finley finds Myers. 27-14. Nyheim Hines got knocked out last week against Wake Forest. Said, I'm not missing rivalry day for anything. The 4th round has been a big one. 54 and then 48. A Wolfpack are in control. Big plays have been the difference after a sluggish third quarter. The fourth quarter sees NC State out in front 27-14 over North Carolina. Big touchdown runs for Nyheim Hines, going 54 and 48, taking it the distance both times. So for Hines today on the ground, 18 carries, 189 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Explosive runs, explosive plays by Hines in this fourth quarter. And he started the game running the football well. They got away from it. They get back to it in the fourth quarter. And NC State and that offensive line doing the job up front. And Nyheim Hines, 18 for 189. Look at that average, over 10 yards per carry and the 2 touchdowns.
So after Matthew Days went for 1166 on the ground last year, Hines over 1,000 today. Just the first time since the late 70s with back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons for an individual player at NC State. Let's take a look at today's game track, and it's brought to you by Taco Bell. This is the story of both sides, all of the injuries for North Carolina in what was a transition year anyway with Trubisky going to the NFL. And for NC State, it's senior day here today, saying farewell to 20 players.
North Carolina trying to replace the talent at pivotal positions, quarterback, wide receiver. And for NC State, they're going to have to go through that next year with 20 seniors and close to 9 or 10 seniors on defense to replace.
Newsom went in motion. Brown keeps it. And then on top of that, too, you've got Ryan Finley at quarterback, who's still got another year. The rare grad transfer who comes in with three years of eligibility. Right. But he can submit his name to the NFL advisory board to get advice to basically tell you, hey, are you a first rounder? Are you not a first rounder? Or are you a guy who should definitely stay in college?
Yeah, and I think that's something to keep into account. A lot of guys just jump. The NFL are very good at evaluating talent. So that's something that he'll have to decide after the season.
5 men with pressure. It's to the tight end, Fritz, who dropped his last opportunity but takes this one out to the 49, maybe the 50-yard line, and gains 24. This is a guy who was a 190-pound wide receiver in high school and is bulked up to now 250 pounds.
Well, what a frame at 6'4". Great target for a quarterback.
Ratliff Williams turns on a dime inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back big plays for UNC. They say, hey, we're down 27-14, plenty of time on the clock. We are not out of this one.
Well, Mike, UNC defensively, they didn't respond on sudden change, but this offense now is taking the football with plenty of time on the clock to go down and get points and make this a football game.
Drop off. NC State swarming on top of Fritz. Hands in there, Sean Boone, the nickelback, trying to strip it away from him. Boone started at safety last week. Dexter Wright getting the start there today in an experiment that did not work out as well as intended against Wake Forest in that loss. Short pass. Big gain for Brown. 8 yards for the sophomore from Durham, North Carolina.
Really good block by Jake Vargas, the tight end. He's going to allow Brown to get to the outside with plenty of green grass in front of him. Good open field tackle by Pratt. But it's going to lead to a third down opportunity for the Tar Heels and probably a 2-down situation.
Only got to get 2. They set it up for Newsome. He grabs a handful, takes it inside the red zone, first down.
Good call, plenty of room. Just had to turn upfield north and south for Daz Newsome to move the chains and keep this drive alive.
Design rollout. And Elliott makes the connection with Carter. A flag from the sideline. He's down inside the 10. It's been a pretty effective series moving the ball in chunks for North Carolina.
I think they're going to get the tight end Fritz for interference. This was a wheel route, almost a double wheel route to the short side of the field, and head coach Larry Fedora not happy. Is going to be a wheel route first by Fritz. He's 82. He's going to take 2 defenders, and that allows Carter to leak out right behind him. So it's perfect concept, but he's blocking downfield. I don't see the interference, to be quite honest with you. The pass was already caught.
Penalty makes it first down and 25. Trying to get some of that yardage back, and they do. To the 19-yard line for Carter.
Boy, nice little jump cut in the middle of the field. Picking up the feet away from the North Carolina State secondary. Gets the ball inside the 20, now manageable at 2nd and 11. Get back to running your offense. Where are your playmakers? Proles in the slot. You've got Ratliff Williams to the wide side. Where can I get the football to my playmakers through the air?
Distribution has been good on this drive. Checkdowns have always been there. Carter slips one and gets stood up. Hard hit inside the 10-yard line. He is dropped.
Dexter Wright comes from the secondary. This is about the 3rd or 4th time, Mike, I've seen a blur in red, and it's been wearing number 14. This is a big hit on the UNC sideline. Just a shoulder pad on shoulder pad.
And he knew it.
Yeah, everybody knew it.
Brown takes it, looking to throw, heaves to the end zone. Flag is down in the end zone.
Is this going to be defensive pass interference? Looked like three guys were around the tight end.
It's on the cornerback, Mike Stevens. Second tricked up play we've seen today from UNC.
These plays always look good on the whiteboard, but when you see three defenders around one guy and you've got your running back throwing the football, these are the ones that the offensive coordinators are yelling, no, don't throw it. But they get away with it. They get the hold on Mike Stevens that keeps the drive alive. Looked like around the waist.
Disbelief for Doran. Off to the left side. And down to the 1 for Carter. 2nd and goal coming up.
Carter only goes 5'9", 195. He's going to break 2 arm tackles of big men. Defensive linemen coming down with speed.
They are quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Chubb gets in there, and he helps prevent a touchdown. His speed, such a big factor.
And when you've got guys selling out so hard along the defensive front, I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan Elliott maybe keeps the football to the short side or even moves the pocket here on 3rd and goal.
Elliott holds on to it, throws for the end zone. Tight pass. And touchdown. He tucked it in there for Jordan Cunningham.
What a big drive by North Carolina. Nathan Elliott throws the perfect pass. He puts it on the numbers of Jordan Cunningham, where Mike Stevens couldn't fight around the body of the 6'2 wide receiver. Good execution with ball location, and Jordan Cunningham cradling that football for 6 points.
Well, Cunningham may not look back very fondly on this season, one that will end with either 3 or 4 victories. But for the senior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, that catch is a big one. His 28th of the year and his first touchdown of 2017. Impactful. 6 points, the difference.
The All-State Saturday Kickoff is presented by Allstate, official protector of college football fans, and in part by Dove Men Plus Care. Care makes a man stronger.
Trading punches, trading scores. Here the 4th quarter in Raleigh. 48-yard touchdown run for Nyheim Hines. Touchdown grab for Jordan Cunningham for UNC. Allstate proud to be part of the team that comes together to do good by contributing to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. This is the 3rd straight year where North Carolina and NC State face each other in the season finale. And if the scheduling gods have anything to say about it, I hope this continues for many years to come.
It's a pretty nice trend. I think both of these teams are getting a genuine dislike for each other that they've had for a long time, but it's actually producing pretty good football for 3.5 quarters.
We've seen it between the players in between snaps 3 times today, where they've locked horns, you could say, out on the field, once pregame and twice during the game.
Well, now the North Carolina State defense, they need to find a way to answer. Their offense found a way to answer on that last drive. 11 plays, 76 yards, almost 6 minutes off the clock, overcoming bad calls, finding a way to get into the end zone. Now the pressure is on their defense. Can they find a way to stop the running attack of Nyheim Hines? And can they pressure Ryan Finley in the pocket?
Hines has the tunnel closed down quickly in front of him. Miles Dorn in on the stop. Sophomore from Charlotte. This is a defense that, despite numerous injuries, 92nd in the country, giving up 31 points a game.
Mike, we have not called Jalen Samuels' name often in this second half, and especially in the fourth quarter. He'll be in the slot for NC State. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to find him the football on 3rd and medium.
Finley had his eyes locked on just one guy, and that was Jacoby Myers. And a good decision. It's a first down.
Good concept. You've got 3 receivers split to the wide side of the field, all running slants. The first window's occupied by Samuels. That opens up Myers. He was the second receiver in the trips formation.
Multiple times we've seen that, and from both teams today.
That's right. And now what do? You run the football with Nyheim Hines. You try to lean on that offensive line and grind the clock down. Take advantage of your running game and your big strength up front.
Finley going headlong, so a couple of good rushing options, whether it's Finley or Hines, having a career day, 20 carries and 195 yards.
And most importantly, Mike, you win on first down. That allows the entire playbook. You can do whatever you want. You can take your time at the line of scrimmage on second down when you gain positive yards, especially when you gain 7, 8, 9 on first down.
And that's been one of the big proponents of Eli Drinkwitz this year about the offensive line, is that, or I should say components of the offensive line, is that even if you don't get a big gain on first down, you know you're comfortable with whatever you call on second down, because they're going to give you a lot of push up front like they do here for Gillespie, and you're going to be able to get a lot of that yardage you may not have gotten on first down on second down.
You've got backs that know that how good their offensive line is, so you can press the hole and lean on those big guys and move the football on the ground and control the end of the game scenario. Control the last 4 minutes of a game with your big bodies up front.
The intent obvious here, just trying to draw the clock down. Finley looked like he had his eyes up and got caught off guard. With so much college football going on today, you can find it all on the ESPN app. Every ESPN and ABC college football game is live at home, on the go, in the palm of your hand or on your computer. You can download the ESPN app to start streaming now. It's a bit of a setback. Second down, 17. Behind the chains here, can the UNC defense find success through aggression? They bring 4. Samuels, the recipient, unable to shake off the defense, but there are multiple flags as he got driven out of bounds by Wolfhook and Dorn.
This might be more of a face mask call than a late hit. I'm not so sure. Yeah, I thought the hit was in the field of play. There might have been a face mask earlier that the official saw, and that's exactly what he called. Looked like Miles Wolford, 11's going to stick out this right hand, and there's face mask both ways. It could have been called either way. And I think NC State is going to get away with one, and Jalen Samuels. This could have been offsetting penalties with the face mask going in both directions.
Could have been about 3rd and 13, maybe 14. But instead, it's first down and 10 at the Carolina 36. Time and score on their side. Cook, the tight end, in as a blocker. And he helps pave the way for Hines. Brought down from the backside by the defensive tackle, Jeremiah Clark. Tell you what, it's been a stressful year for Larry Fedora. Today might have added a few grays to the top.
Yeah, this is where you got to reach for the rinse if you're Coach Fedora. You get on the recruiting trail tomorrow, and you've had a frustrating year, but you know, you've had success. And when they're able to go out and get the right guys to stockpile some more talent, that's what they need. You know, you had a lot of young people playing this year. You need more youth, but you need to get more experience, and guys are getting it, and they found it this year.
5 minutes and counting taken off the clock here by the Wolfpack. Navigating dangerous territory there. Cater comes up to make the stop. Inside of 3 minutes now, and a 6-point game.
You know, this will be interesting how NC State plays this out. They're up by 6, under 3 minutes with the woes that they've had in the kicking game. You'd like to get a lot here on third down and maybe make it a little bit easier if you decide to kick the field goal or if you're going to go for it on fourth down. But for UNC, they're letting this clock bleed down. They've got to think about start exhausting their timeouts here.
Perhaps it would have been more judicious to do it a bit earlier, but if they can get a stop on third down, they'll be back in good shape. To the outside, Gillespie, and a huge pickup for NC State.
The key to this is Gillespie makes the first Tar Heel miss in the open field. That looked like it was Woolfolk in the open field. He would have been stopped about 7 yards short here if you come up and make the tackle, but he's able to go inside and then back to the outside. That was a backbreaker for UNC.
Timeout watch is on as we hit the 2-minute mark. Finley with Cook to block in front. And he's tackled by Alan Artis, the safety.
Why would you run out of bounds if you're Ryan Finley? That is not a good decision.
Chip Kelly's now our former colleague.
That's right.
$23 million contract at UCLA as he replaces Jim Mora. Hired on his birthday, by the way.
Pretty nice bonus there.
Nice way to celebrate.
Yeah.
Mike Riley is out as anticipated at Nebraska. Scott Frost, his agent, needs to keep a couple cell phone batteries charged today. JT Barrett left after a collision with a cameraman on the sideline against Michigan.
How about Brett Bielema gone at Arkansas?
After
Openings at Florida.
5 years. There's going to be a lot of news in the coming days. A lot of action in the final 145 here as well between NC State and UNC. This time it's Jalen Samuels and a stiff arm. He's swung down by Dorn inside the 10-yard line. Hines has had a huge day. Samuels the perfect complement.
And leaning on that offensive line in the last 4 minutes of this game, they were relentless. They were able to spring holes for Nyheim Hines. Now they get one for Jalen Samuels. And NC State may not give it back on offense.
John, this drive is approaching 7 minutes of game clock elapsed here. 27-21. Now let's take a look at this great play from earlier in the game with our All-State all-hands-in play. And it's the leading receiver for UNC, Anthony Ratliff-Williams.
Yeah, down the field. This is just a nice pass by Nathan Elliott. He leads his offensive wide receiver away from coverage, and that was Anthony Ratliff-Williams. Excellent execution down the field against blitz coverage, but that was early and late. Not enough execution on defense or offense, and credit that special teams. You know, they set up NC State with some pretty good field position, and they took advantage of it, especially on this drive that has lasted 6 minutes plus.
Well, John, what did we say at the beginning of this game was the separating factor between the two teams in the last 3 years? What the winner had? Rushing yards.
Yes, you have to be able to dominate on the ground, and that's exactly the team that has held the rushing advantage has won 22 of the last 25 meetings, and over the last 6 or 7 minutes, we've seen big plays in the run game.
284-68, the rushing advantage today for the Wolfpack. A timeout with 1:37 to go. Out of a long hiatus, 6-point lead NC State. They've got it 1st and goal at the 10. Hines one in motion, handoff, Samuels, and the Wolfpack are sitting pretty with 1:33 to go. Touchdown for J-Sam.
Mike, what a drive. When you needed it the most, this offense responds. 13 plays, 75 yards, 6 minutes and 43 seconds, and that offensive line doing work, providing gaping holes over the last 50, 60 yards for this rushing attack.
Going to try to go for 2 here to make it 35-21, a 14-point difference. One-on-one, Harmon. And he can't hang on in the corner.
Well, for NC State, Mike, the only way they could have gotten the football back with enough time and a chance to get an onside kick was for NC State.
For UNC, you mean?
For UNC is to allow NC State to score on one play, and they did. I don't know if they allowed it, but they were able to get into the end zone, and now they've got a chance to get the football back. They only have 1 timeout remaining with 1:33 left to go, so they're going to have to move with efficiency down the field, but at least they have that opportunity now.
This rivalry matchup coming down to the end, and later on tonight, more rivalry action, 8 Eastern on ABC at Notre Dame and Stanford at the end of the regular season. And the end of college football before bowl season gets going. It doesn't matter what the record is. All it matters is for 60 minutes, what you got and what you bring to the field. And even in a trying season, North Carolina has provided great fight here today against NC State. Short kick and a fair catch called for around the 30-yard line. So 1:33 to go here. It's got to be quick and it's got to be effective.
And you better keep your eye on number 9, Bradley Chubb, the defensive end for NC State. He's going to be humming off the edge. This is pass downs all the way, and you're going to have to be able to get the football out quickly if you're Nathan Elliott. Accurately, quickly down the field with 1:33 left to go and only 1 timeout.
Carolina gets good field position, but a smart move there by NC State to keep the ball away from Ratliff Williams, who's got 2 touchdown returns this year. Big time run for Elliott, takes it out across the 45.
Only 5 seconds off the clock and you gain valuable yards. So a good start to this last drive.
15 yards in the first down run. Pocket holds up as he looks sideline. It's the tight end Fritz there. Now 1:14 as the clock stops. Here comes Chubb. He gets to the quarterback, and the pass on the sideline. Cunningham is there. Wow.
Chubb still down on the field after creating pressure in the pocket. I'm not so sure. Looks like the left knee is down. Does he have possession of the football? And does that ball go to the ground? Boy, that is a very difficult one to decide on as Chubb's applying pressure in the pocket. Jordan Cunningham is on the receiving end of this pass after the pressure in the pocket by Bradley Chubb. One, his left knee is down, but I'm not so sure he possessed the football at that time. And secondly, does the football go through the arms to the ground before he can possess it and have control through the catch? Take a look at the left knee is down there. There he does not have control of the football. Now he does, but does the tip of the football and does the football move? Does he control it through the catch? The football can move, but does he have control? I think that point of the football goes to the ground. I don't think this is going to be a catch.
It'll need to be indisputable video evidence for Bob Welch, the replay official, but plenty of good looks here on a big play for North Carolina, trying to make it a comeback here in the fourth quarter.
Now the ruling on the field is a catch. The knee's down there, but he does not have control of the football. Cunningham does not control the football. It moves, and does the tip of the football hit the ground to allow him to control through the catch?
Additionally, as he goes out of bounds, before he gains control of the ball, he touched down out of bounds as well.
The knee was down. Yeah, the ruling on the field was a catch. And I just thought it was a great job by Nathan Elliott to even get the football close to Jordan Cunningham on the play.
With Chubb charging
Absolutely.
6'4", 275, and a future NFL first-round pick, you bet.
You've got 1:08 left to go, so you know you're going to try to push the football down the field. I thought that was an excellent job by Elliott, holding his ground in the pocket and throwing a catchable pass outside to Jordan Cunningham.
But a big asset right here for Cunningham and UNC is that he's got the benefit of the call on the field already in his favor.
In my opinion, I think this is going to be reversed. I don't think this is going to be a catch. And North Carolina, with 1:08, they better get organized to get back on the football field and get some plays down the field, because everybody's just kind of talking around the sideline right now. They got to get up and get ready to go. There's the knee down, but does he possess the football, and does the ground help him catch it? I don't think he has control of the football in the field of play, Mike.
And I think this is, there's down and distance to be determined. Here we go. We got the call. So like I said, there's down and distance to be figured out. This is a place where we can slice down on time wasted on replays in any sport. If you can't make the call definitively, seeing it 2 or 3 times, move on and let's keep the game going.
Yeah, it sure does help the players out on the field to get that rhythm and keep it going. But now you've got a 3rd and 10. You've got 2 downs for 10 yards.
Elliott checks it down. Carter. Nimbly done as he finds the sideline, first down. How about it? College football playoff chaos today. Alabama losing 26-14 at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Still a minute to go here. Out over the middle of the field, Newsome. He's got a first down. Clock stops again at 55 seconds.
Good job by Carter on the previous play, and now you've got another plus 10-yard completion. So North Carolina still with plenty of time to get this football in the end zone.
And still with that timeout in their back pocket. Elliott looked like he wanted to go deep. Over the head of Carter. Clock stops at 41 seconds.
I think he was trying to locate a receiver down the middle of the field. There was a lot of infighting between cornerback and wideout. So smartly throws the football away with 41 seconds left to go.
Second down and 10 for the sophomore quarterback. Third down and 10. Ratliff Williams, his target.
NC State doing a really good job of in the back end with coverage. There are no wide receivers wearing white jerseys running around free. This has been good coverage on first and second down. They're going to need to do it again, as well as bring some heat on third down.
Later tonight, 10:30 Eastern after Clemson, South Carolina. Tune into SportsCenter. Linda Cohn and Kenny Mayne have you covered. A big impact from the Iron Bowl with Auburn getting the win over #1 Alabama. What does the future hold for Kevin Sumlin? Baker Mayfield, a front runner for the Heisman Trophy. Look at his action as well. Well, this is a strength of the Wolfpack here on defense, starting 9 seniors on D. Their only non-senior starters for Dave Doran are at safety today. Dexter Wright and Jarius Moorhead. That's the most seniors of anybody in the country on defense. The next closest any team has is 7.
That's one of those areas of concern. You got all these, you have all this experience. It's all leaving, so you have to go out and replace it. And that's what they're going to start to do tomorrow.
But making it count tonight. Looking for their 8th win. And it would be a sweet one for the next 365 against North Carolina.
Not a bad setup with Carter on a linebacker if you can get it on third down.
4-man rush, and the pass is intercepted. Jermaine Pratt down the sideline. Still going inside the 20. NC State seals it with a pick.
What a play by Jermaine Pratt. He's just going to play the football, goes up and gets it. He was covering Prohl in the middle of the football field. Now he turns into a running back. He's going to try to sprint to extend the lead. All he needs to do is fall down. Now the game is over. But this defense and that experience, Mike, that you talked about, pressure in the pocket, good coverage down the field. Pratt with the big interception.
An experienced defense and their prowess germane to this win. The knee for Finley, and rivalry week comes to an end in exciting fashion here in Raleigh, North Carolina. NC State 33 and North Carolina 21.
Well, one of those games in a rivalry type setting, you want to be able to be at your best. I thought both teams came out punching literally, and on the field it carried over. But NC State stronger at the end. They find a way to get off the field and come away with a victory.
Wolfpack up to 8-4. They await their bowl assignment. 6-2, their final mark in the ACC. On behalf of my partner John Kajemi and our entire crew, Mike Cousins, saying thanks so much for being with us here this afternoon. So long from Raleigh. We got Goal Line for you right now.